Race is like gender. Most of the time, people see it and assume how one identifies. Black woman, white man, Hispanic child. Anyone who's biracial or struggles with his or her gender identity knows it's not so cut and dry. For me and many others, it starts with a guessing game. Go ahead, guess. Okay. I'm biracial, or as I identify as, mixed. My mom is white, and my father is black. Biracial people face many biracial problems, from identity dilemmas to the biggest hair crisis. But the number one problem is that in post-racial America, there is no room for us.
For me, it was the hair. Like, my hair was crazy. I didn't feel like it was pretty. I didn't look like my friend's hair. I didn't look like my mom's hair. Like, nobody had this crazy, huge hair like I did. In high school, a lot of my friends were white. I was on a dance team, and they just happened to be a lot of white girls. I wish I had white people's hair.
Growing up, I found comfort in loving celebrities that looked like me. In the early 90s, it was Mariah Carey, and later followed Melanie Brown from the Spice Girls. In 2000, I initiated and mastered the art of passing. That didn't last long. But today is different because the first mixed president of the United States, President Obama, is not seen as mixed, but as black. Well, that doesn't seem fair.
The problem is not that you say you're mixed. The problem is that there are those who say you are not. That's a problem. It's not the category or the process of categorizing. I think the problem is the racism.
I was playing golf with Bill Clinton not too long ago, and I said, you know, people are saying Obama's the first black president, and he's not. He's the first mixed-race president. You're the first black president. And I don't know where that went. I don't know how that got all...
It went crazy.
Everybody seems to forget that he had a mama, and she was white.
Yeah. I know.
I mean, you know.
Right. But the world, that may be true, but the world perceives...
Not maybe. It is.
It is true. But the world perceives him as African American.
I guess I see him as black primarily. Usually if you're raised African American, that's usually what your mindset is. If he were to go somewhere in a room full of white people and say, you know, like, I'm white because my father's white, they wouldn't accept him. They would call him black. People go by how you look.
I put like black and white because I really don't know what to put. So I'll put like African American and Caucasian.
I put black and I put Hispanic, non-white. So even though sometimes I put other, and then like the white and black and Hispanic I put for them.
When I was young and going through the identity crises that any teenager goes through, I wrote a whole book about this.
Yes.
And the book came out. Part of what I realized was that if the world saw me as African American, then that wasn't something that I needed to run away from. That's something that I could go ahead and embrace. I'm less interested in how we label ourselves. I'm more interested in how we treat each other. And if we're treating each other right, then I can be African American, I can be multiracial, I can be, you name it.
I think they are forcing society to look at the one-drop rule seriously. because what people forget in this country is that all of this is fictional, right? The one-drop rule was something that was instituted by law in 1896. Before that, racial mixture was fully acknowledged in this country. Society makes it real because the consequences, well, this person wasn't hired because she was assumed to be black. And it's a lot easier to do that if you have either or categories. But with mixed race, there are no either or.
Although President Obama chooses to honor his black side, he negates his white side, and joining a team or choosing a side just because it makes classifying mixed people easier doesn't make understanding us easier, which is what we need more of. More compassion and empathy, less categorizing and organizing. Everyone is quick to assign mixed people to one side. But speaking for myself here, I'm incapable of seeing the world in just black and white.
Black and white. Half and half. He's black and my mom's white. This is chocolate and this is vanilla chocolate. Mixed together makes her color.
I don't know if they'll face any prejudice because of how they look. I think after President Obama being chosen, it is possible that Summer and George, or just any female who's of color or minority, has a better chance of being the president. Not that I was very excited and happy. My dad and I called each other when he won again. Our people. Hopefully, he was chosen for the right reasons, not just because he's a black president.
There are more mixed people in the community now. Growing up, I did have a couple mixed friends, but it wasn't as prevalent as I've noticed more recently. It could be nice if some of these public figures would speak out that they were mixed, and it would have been nice, to have someone like that to look up to when I was a little kid. But everyone was either black or white. I try not to when it comes to the race stuff, I try not to pick up on it. I really do. I just try to be myself, and if someone has a problem with it, then they can have a problem with it. But, I'm just going to be me, That's all you can do.
Biracial people have two parents who are of two different races and who have had to leap over some pretty massive hurdles just to bring us into this world. And some with white mothers who had to wake up at the crack of dawn to try and tame our hair. They make us who we are. So next time you ask, what are you? Check other.